Occusync 3 versus Occusync 4. Does height really matter? Let's do this. So hello, welcome once again to the channel, and on today's video is all about a test I did about a week or so ago with the new Occusync 4 on the RC2. I did a video in an urban test, and a lot of you made comments saying that the test was unfair because the height difference of 6 meters would have made a difference. So I just had to redo that test and bring it out to you, just to prove a point. Like I answered one or two comments saying that height really doesn't matter on a 6 meter difference. So let's get straight into the video and have a look exactly what the results are. So here we go then. The first flight is with the Mini 3 Pro. Just wanted to double check the return to home height just in case we lose connection, which is very doubtful on this short flight. You can see it's just set there to 45 meters, which is absolutely fine. Okay, on with the test, and we're going to set the height to 40 meters. And there was a lot of comments, as I just said earlier, about the discrepancy in the two tests being set to different heights. That was an error on my part. So we're just going to increase the height and set it to 40 meters, bring the gimbal down a little bit. You see that crosshair just there? I'm trying to focus on that white building in the background, just there. Okay, so we'll increase the height to 40 meters. And this will be the same on both tests. Oh, a little bit high. I'll just drop it down a bit. Okay, there we go, 40 meters. Keep your eye on the RC signal at the top, and that's what we're looking for, is a dropout down to moderate, which is the yellow bars that we get when the signal starts to decrease. Highly populated Wi-Fi area and interference. That was the purpose of the test a week ago. There we go, there you can see 220 meters is when it first dropped out. Reverse it back. Now, like I said before, if I was to carry on over this terrain, chances are we could bring that signal back up to full bars. But the purpose of the test was to test the signal strength between the 03 and 04 Occusync. Okay, so let's bring this down and land it, and we'll get the Mini 4 Pro up in the air. Okay, on with the second test for the Mini 4 Pro. We'll take off, and as before, we'll set the height to exactly the same 40 meters. There we go. Height set to 40 meters. I just want to make sure that we're heading to the same spot. So what I'm going to do is put the crosshairs on for this one, because we had comments saying that I wasn't flying on the same flight path. And that's that small little white building out there in the distance. There we go. Okay, just increase the height slightly. There we go, 40 meters, and we're on the same path. Okay, on we go. Let's see what the difference is, if there is any. The purpose of these two tests is to prove whether height really matters. And as I said on the first test that I did, I replied to one or two of the comments saying that a 6 meter difference wouldn't make that much difference. So we're already past the Mini 3 Pro mark. As you can see here, we've lost 1 bar of signal, but it's the orange bars that we're interested in. Just slight pause in the flight there. Okay, we'll move forward. and 330, 40, 50 meters. There we go. 360 meters for the orange bars. Okay, let's whiz him back, and then we'll land it, and then we'll move on to a non-urban test, just to prove whether height really matters. Okay, let's bring it back, get it landed, and we'll move on. So moving on, out in the field, I've been to this location on many occasions with the Mini 3 Pro and the Mavic 3 Classic, and I just wanted to do a quick test. Now, this is not a range test by any means at all. I don't do range tests, but we're out in the open fields, a rural location, and I've set the height to 35 meters, and I'm just going to cruise out and just keep your eye on that RC signal up the top, and this is to test the Occusync 4. Now, like I've just said, I have flown with the Mini 3 Pro, and I have lost some bars flying in this location, and I know it all depends on different scenarios, KP index and things like that, but this is just a simple test, pushing it to my visual line of sight limits. Like I say, I don't do range tests, but as you can see just there, that's well far enough for my liking, and we've not lost any signal whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it back slightly, and I'm going to lower the height. I'm going to lower it right down, just to see whether height really matters. Now, I know when we fly out, or some of you might fly out on really silly distances, and you start to lose signals and you gain height and you get your signal back. We know all that, but this is just a short test, just to see whether if we lower it down in the same location, whether or not that signal makes a difference. So we're going to set it at 10 meters, 30 foot off the ground, and out we go again. A slightly different path because I want to dodge these trees with it being lower. I don't want to be crashing it. I know we've got obstacle avoidance, but I don't want to risk anything. So just keep your eye on that RC signal at the top. Remember, I'm testing Occusync 4 just to see what the signal strength is out in the open. And as you can see, it's absolutely rock solid. I have no inhibitions with this Occusync 4. I think it's fantastic, personally. So I'm just going to whiz it back up, and I think what I'll do is a return to home test just to finish this bit off. Just checking the height, see what we're set at. 60 meters, we'll just lower that down to around about 40 meters. You see my fat fingers don't like those little controls. Okay, let's hit the return to home and bring it back. One little thing to mention, we've got this augmented path, this AR design. I'm not too keen on this, to be fair, but I do like that home point locator, that little H. I do like that as I'm flying about because it tells us where we're going at the time. In case you didn't know, the Mini 4 Pro does have precision landing, but that will be another video a little later on that I'll bring you. Okay, let's summarise it back in the studio. So there we go, that's proof in the pudding, as they say, and it just goes to prove that over that short distance and that short difference in height, the 6 meters height difference, it doesn't really matter, as the video showed you. Now I hope that's put a lot of your minds at rest. It certainly put mine at rest, and I know I was at fault, I wasn't paying attention to the heights, and hopefully that's clarified a few things for you. As you saw in the non-urban test, the rural test, the difference in height, I lowered it down to 10 meters. And like I said earlier, I don't do range tests, and that was just a simple Occusync 4 test to see if we did fly lower, and I took it right down to 10 meters, whether the signal would alter. And as you saw, and we all know that if you're flying that on crazy distances, when you start to lose signal and the signal gets really weak, we do know that if you increase the height when you're out there, you've got no obstacles in the way, then that can make a difference. So, hope you found the video useful and informative, and if you have, don't forget, give us the old thumbs up. And if you're new around here, why don't you consider subscribing, dinging the dong, and all the rest of it that goes with it. And you might like to watch these couple of videos just here that I've selected for you, and if you do, I will see you over there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.